Hello everyone, and welcome to our Intro to Essential Oils class. I have handouts ready for everyone, so feel free to grab one of these natural solutions brochures. It's multi-page, so you could follow along. We're mainly going to go over all the information on the front page. If you'd like to take notes, you're more than welcome to do so, as well as ask questions throughout the class. Today we're going to be chatting all about the basics of essential oils, from what they are to how to use them and why doTERRA. There is no obligation to purchase anything. However, if you see something you like, I'm more than happy to help you get started with that today. Just a short introduction about me. My name is Brittany. I'm a wife and mom of 2 toddlers here in Southern California, and if they interrupt me, I highly apologize. But I used to blog and share about our holistic health journey that began about 6 years ago, but I've been using and sharing doTERRA for right around 3.5 years now. I initially stepped into the essential oil world shortly after I had my first child, because I wanted to have natural, safe alternatives to turn to instead of feeling bound by over-the-counter medications which merely mask symptoms, and I truly didn't want to endure the long wait times of getting into doctor's appointments, plus the cost that goes along with that. doTERRA has completely elevated my confidence to care for my family in a safe manner. I believe we all have that gut instinct of what's good or best for us, and really the purpose of this class is to help empower you to become a healer in your home and arm you with the tools necessary to do that. doTERRA is an education company first, and our hope is that you're able to pay this education forward, so we truly thank you for being here. So I want to start out by asking, who here has tried essential oils before? Awesome. Now, who here has tried doTERRA oils? Great. Now, I will likely be answering many of your questions throughout this class, so if you have any, just raise a hand and I will answer them as we go along and through our time together. Another question I love to ask is more of a reflective one. So, what are your feelings about the current healthcare system? I know, loaded question, but I have found that there are 2 extremes. On one end of the scale, there are those who are so much into natural healthcare that they think doctors are evil, and then on the other end, there are those who are completely into Western medicine and they think anything natural is voodoo. And then there's those in between, right? Living a good balance of integrative healthcare. So I just want you to kind of think and consider, where are you along this scale? Before we get into teaching this class, if everyone can pick up those handouts and turn to that second page, go ahead and fill in your top 3 health concerns or health priorities. Think of them like goals. Why are you at this class? What would you like to learn? What are some things that you deal with in your life that you're wondering if there's solutions for that are more natural? In this class, we're committed to helping you find these solutions to those concerns and goals you write down. It's likely I will discuss one or more of them, but if I don't address them, please let me know at the end and I'd be more than happy to make recommendations specifically for you. Now, as we go through this class, I would encourage you to jot down which oils you're interested in or want to know more about. And at the end, we'll discuss ways that you can purchase those oils at the highest discount. Now, if you notice, essential oils are truly becoming a talk of the town these days. You can find them pretty much anywhere from Whole Foods to Walmart, and people are becoming more aware of their options towards natural solutions as an alternative to Western medicine. So let's start at the basics. What is an essential oil? It's nature's defense mechanism for plants and cells. Essential oils are hidden in the roots, bark, seeds, and flowers of plants. They cannot be seen with the naked eye, but they are natural compounds found within those plants, and they're highly concentrated, which makes them very potent. Now, at the top left-hand side of your page right here, you're going to see a microscopic picture of a peppermint leaf. These 2 white sacs are essential oil sacs. Essential oils are extracts from plants that are highly concentrated, as I mentioned before, but they're about 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs, and they have been around for thousands of years. However, until people are educated around them, it's unlikely that they would know their powerful healing properties. So, since we saw a close-up of the peppermint leaf, I'd love to share some of its benefits. So I'm going to pass around this peppermint oil. Feel free to take it and add a drop into your hand like so. kind of pours out real slow, and then you can roll it up like a bottle of wine so you don't get multiple drops. But you can go ahead and rub your hands together so you can intensify the aromas. Please be careful not to touch your face or eyes as it would tinkle, but just go ahead and inhale. To open up those respiratory systems, you can also rub your hands on the back of your neck if you have neck tension or if you have the tendency to run a little bit warm. It'll cool your body down, or it'll make that tingly feeling on the back of your neck to help with those tense muscles. Inhaling it is really good for adding energy into your life. You can add a drop of peppermint into your water or right into your mouth to freshen your breath, or you can even drink it in water to help with those digestive issues that you might have. Now, I love to use peppermint essential oil to help with head tension by just tapping the top of the bottle, because there's always oil residue up here, and rubbing the outer parts of my temple or across my forehead to help relieve any tension that I'm feeling. Be careful not to get too close to your eyes as it will tingle. But just 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint oil is equivalent to drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea for its therapeutic value. I know, mind-blowing. Great. Now, I want to talk about why you might want to explore nature's solutions for your health. Those of you who have seen some pharmaceutical drug commercials on TV, have you ever noticed that a quarter of the commercial describes what that drug can do to help, and then the other 3/4 of the commercial describes the side effects? What's your favorite side effect you've heard so far? Mine are the ones that give you the similar symptoms to what you're trying to help. Crazy, but seriously, why do it? So let's discuss why you might want to consider using essential oils as an alternative. Now, essential oils have hundreds of molecular compounds. That means they have a myriad of healing properties just from one oil. Pharmaceutical companies take the natural compound and will create a synthetic version of that same compound. Why? Because it's cheaper and drugs can be patented, which means they can make money. They cannot patent something that naturally occurs in nature, like an orange or a sprig of lavender. Now, lavender is an incredible example of this because it's known to have over 200 compounds, and that is only what has been found thus far. Now, essential oils are always changing and adapting and being further researched, which makes them superior to their synthetic versions created in a lab, which cannot adapt to change. You'd have to change that synthetic version every time it becomes inferior. Think of antibiotics, for example. Bacteria is always adapting and changing, whereas medicine stays the same. You have to change it every time it becomes inferior. The wonderful thing about plants is they can adapt because they are a living thing. Now, lavender is truly the Swiss Army knife of oils. I'll go ahead and pass this around as well, but it's very soothing for the skin. It's great for the skin in a myriad of ways, from cuts and scrapes to burns to scarring. Just really great for the tissues of the skin. It's also very soothing and relaxing to not only the body, but also the mind. It can be used for more restful sleep. And lavender works wonders for emotional support when you're thinking of things like helping with anxiety and stress. So, what makes doTERRA's essential oils different from any of the others that are on the market? The answer is their standard of quality known as CPTG. One important thing to know is there's no regulation or standard in the essential oil industry, which means you could buy an oil from a health food store and the bottle could say that it's 100% pure, but not for internal use. This means it could be mostly synthetic, and even if there was a portion of the product that contains 100% pure oil, it may be adulterated, or there could be other chemical additives in that bottle. So let's look at the different grades of essential oils. The first grade, oh, I have my paper upside down. So over here, the first grade of an essential oil is found in the personal care industry. Those are your synthetic forms of essential oils. This can be found in your perfumes, lotions, shampoos, and conditioner. You will then see the next level is found in the food that you eat. For example, peppermint candies and chewing gum. The next level is called therapeutic grade, and it's typically used in massage therapy or aromatherapy. Now, three of the doTERRA founders that created the company, they created it as a result of the way other companies were running and testing and sharing their product. They found the testing methods were often suspect, as well as they tested only in-house, and companies would often control their own farming. So all the results were held in-house and not shared. The founders had a passion to be able to offer an essential oil that they could stand behind 100%, that was pure, non-adulterated, and third-party tested. An oil that you could confidently give to your baby or your grandparent. Now, that's how doTERRA's CPTG, or Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, was born, which is mentioned on here as well. Not only do doTERRA's oils go through multiple levels of third-party testing to ensure their purity and efficacy, but they're also sourced from where they grow indigenously. That just means they have the highest chemical properties to be used for medicinal benefits. For instance, if you were to grow lavender in your backyard here in the US, it's not going to be quite the same as the lavender that's grown in the south of France. The scent can be a little bit different, the properties can be different. My favorite example is I can attempt to grow a vineyard here in Orange County, California, and I probably have some success, but I prefer to purchase wines from my favorite regions of Napa or places like Bordeaux in Italy because the taste and quality is so much better. doTERRA sources their oils from over 44 countries, and they have partnerships with every single one of their growers. Those of you interested in those strategic partnerships can learn more about our co-impact sourcing and give back initiative called the Healing Hands Foundation through doTERRA's website. The prime example of why sourcing is important is frankincense. Now, frankincense dates back to biblical times and is sourced from Somalia. It's actually a resin that comes from trees, so you don't have to chop the tree down. You actually just score it and the resin seeps out. Now, other companies do over-harvest these trees and often jeopardize their health, which is unfortunate because many of the boswellia trees have been in these families for over 5 generations. Now, doTERRA only sells an oil when the harvest of those plants is sustainable and the oils are pure. If it's not, they will not sell that product. Frankincense now is known to be the king of all oils, which is why it's got that phrase around it, when in doubt, get your frankincense out. Like if you have no idea which oil to use, just pull out frankincense and it'll often do the job. Frankincense is known to help with inflammation, cellular and brain health, immune function, emotional distress, and it's being studied for its anti-cancerous properties. So if you want a frankincense that works, make sure you purchase a certified pure therapeutic grade of it. Now, let's move on and talk about how essential oils actually work. They are safer, cheaper, and more effective than prescription medication. Another reason you would consider using essential oils as an alternative to synthetic drugs is that they're much less expensive. They're just pennies per drop as opposed to doctor's visits, co-pays, and prescriptions. More importantly, they treat the root cause of the issue instead of merely masking that symptom, causing you to be in that cyclical cycle of always needing those products. The reason pharmaceutical drugs do not help the body heal is because they just mask the problem, and they're actually the 4th leading cause of death in the United States. Now, the molecular structure of an essential oil is small enough to pass through the cell wall to kill and interact with viruses. Not even an antibiotic can do that. You can see how this makes them safe, affordable, and effective as an alternative to synthetic drugs. So, in a nutshell, essential oils are fully functional in the body. They can take a person of high emotional distress or a person of low emotional energy and bring them into a balanced state, and a body in balance can heal itself naturally and faster. Now, 2 incredibly powerful oils for aiding the body are melaleuca, which is tea tree oil, and oregano. Now, oregano, you're going to be like, spaghetti, why do I need this? But having properties of being antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal are some of the main reasons you would want these 2 oils in your medicine cabinet. I've been even personally recommended by my pediatrician to use these 2 oils on things like ear and sinus infections so I could avoid the use of antibiotics. Now, it's not that I don't believe in pharmaceuticals. I just want an option that's safer first, and if it does not work, then I turn to pharmaceuticals. But my kids have never been on antibiotics their entire life. That kind of says something. So I've also used them on things like warts and skin tags. Melaleuca itself is really great for skin and hair health. You can use it to ward off things like lice. So I know kiddos that are in school, that's definitely an important thing for mama, but these are the main oils I reach for when our family is sick, and I would never want to go a day without them in my medicine cabinet. So I'll pass them around. Feel free to use and smell Melaleuca. Oregano is real strong, so I'm just going to warn you on that. It's a hot oil, so don't get it right on your skin without diluting, and we'll talk about topical use in just a little bit. Now, let's transition into talking about how to actually use essential oils. And I'm positive this is the topic you are truly here to learn. So you can focus on the bottom portion of this paper. There are 3 different ways you can use them: aromatically, topically, and internally. This is not the recommended use for any essential oil brand except doTERRA due to the purity and quality, but doTERRA's have been specifically tested, pure, and safe. Now, there are different reasons why you might want to use these oils the 3 different ways, so I'm going to break them down one by one for you. First off, we're going to talk about aromatic use. Now, you can experience aromatic use of essential oils simply by opening an essential oil bottle and intaking the aromas. Or you could put a drop in your hands like we did earlier and rub them together to intensify that aroma. And then you can cup your hand over your nose and mouth as a quick way to diffuse for personal use. However, did you know the air inside our homes is about 500 times more toxic than the outdoors? Unless we live in Southern California, it's probably worse either way. But we can either make ourselves a human diffuser by breathing through our cupped hands, or we can actually use a diffuser, which takes the tiny essential oil molecules and disperses them into the air with the water molecules to diffuse a particular room or space. It assists in reducing the airborne pathogens and aids in protecting our environment. And when you diffuse, the entire family gets to reap the benefits of the essential oils. So again, it's very cost effective as well. There are many different types of diffusers. You can get them for your cars, for your homes, for your office. You can also find diffuser jewelry, which is lava beads. Currently, doTERRA's oils are being used to diffuse in over 30 hospitals and clinics around the US. If you are breathing an essential oil into your system, you want it to be safe, effective, and pure. So it's important that you never burn essential oils. You don't want to heat them, but always use them in a water-based diffuser like this one, or you can use them on cotton pads or on a lava stone. But really quickly, I wanted to share how to use this diffuser. So here you'll see there on the inside, this is what it looks like, just an open vessel, but you can pour water in up to the water line, which is that red mark. So it's about up to here, and then you will add in 4 to 8 drops, kind of depending on the size and space of your room. I always say start with less is more. So in my kids' rooms, I'll often just put 1 to 2 drops of essential oil, and that is enough to fill the space. But when you move into a room that's a living room or a larger open space, you'll definitely want to increase up to that 6 to 8 drops, depending. I always say start with less. You can't remove the drops once they're in there. So definitely start with less is more kind of mentality, but you can fill it up, close it up, and turn it on. It's the easiest way to set it and forget it, yet continue to purify your home, support your immune system, and aid your body in whatever way it needs. Now, like I mentioned before, our homes are typically 500 times more toxic than the outdoors, so you can turn to an oil like the Breathe Respiratory Blend or the On Guard Protective Blend, and that can do anything from eradicate odors, cleanse the air, to killing pathogens. I absolutely love these blends and incorporate them on a regular basis. On Guard, I'll pass it around, it smells like fall in a bottle, glorious smell. I know us ladies love fall. And then Breathe Respiratory Blend is fantastic for opening up those pathoways for individuals that have a hard time breathing, or especially at night, to help the body really sleep in a better state. But I'll go ahead and pass those around. So I want to talk about next, the second way to use essential oils is topically. So one reason why you might step from using essential oils aromatically to using them topically is, if you had a physical body ailment, if you had a stomach ache or a headache, you could put oils in your diffuser, but likely you're going to need to take that next step of physically applying them to your body, especially when we're talking about aches and pains. It would be nice to throw something in the diffuser and hope that just all your things would go away, but oftentimes you need to go to the topical use when it comes to physical ailments. So one main question I get all the time is, where is the best place to put an essential oil? Now, the feet is one of the best places to start, and that's because the feet have thousands of nerve endings and it acts as a freeway to the entire body. And since essential oils work systematically, they enter your brain within 2 seconds of breathing them in, but applying topically, they're actually going to enter your system within 22 seconds to reach the bloodstream, and they'll reach every cell in your body within 20 minutes following application. However, if you use them directly on site, you can put them obviously on your feet and aid the entire body, but if you have a specific area of concern, like an elbow that is in discomfort or hip or knee pain, you're going to want to apply directly to those affected areas. Now, another question that I often receive is how much and how many times? And I always say, remember it this way, 2 times a day. So brush your teeth, oil your feet. It's always recommended that less is more, and you want to use less more often. So consistency is the real game changer when using your essential oils. You want to use them on a regular basis so your body always is able to use that and aid those root areas of concern. Now, if you're going to be using essential oils and dealing with infants or small children, you will always want to dilute and use a carrier oil. For some people who are using essential oils for massage, or if you need to cover a larger area, a carrier oil is a great way to spread the essential oil over a larger part of the body without inhibiting the essential oil. You'll want to use a carrier oil such as fractionated coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil, or even something as easy to reach as olive oil, where that oil is not going to inhibit the essential oil from absorbing into the skin. So you'll want to avoid things like petroleum or other irritants. So again, if you're going to be putting essential oils onto your skin, you want them to be safe and effective and pure because they do go into your system, as with anything else you put on your body. Now, just a safety precaution, if an essential oil gets into your eyes, you can actually place another drop of essential oil or a carrier oil on the corner of your eye to help release that aromatic compound. Another thing that you could do is you can rinse with milk, as oils and water do not mix. It's just going to irritate it further. So no water, milk, or another essential oil outside the eye. Now, one of my favorite essential oils to use topically is Deep Blue, which is a soothing blend for the muscles and body. So 1 drop of essential oil can service every cell in your body. So don't worry about thinking like you need to bathe in them. Deep Blue is like a natural icy hot. It smells of wintergreen and it brings a cooling, tingling sensation to areas of pain, whether it's chronic or occasional. I personally use this oil in a lotion form all throughout labor on my lower back and hips to alleviate that pain. Now, I'll pass this around. If you have any tension, pain, areas, then I definitely recommend to use this and give it a try. The third way of use, and that's over here, is internal use. I sometimes like to demonstrate by, you could put a drop of lemon oil on a styrofoam cup and watch how fast it dissolves petrochemicals, but I didn't bring one, or I don't have one, so I encourage you to try it at home. It's a great science activity, just fun to do with the kids or yourself if you want to impress yourself. But lemon essential oil is a wonderful way to reduce the amount of petrochemicals that are in your system, or it's an easy way to do a gentle cleanse every single day. Basically, if you breathe, eat, or drink every day, then you are at risk of free radical damage. And unfortunately, we cannot avoid that these days. Internal use of essential oils is safe and effective. The best time to use essential oils is when you're addressing an issue that's between your throat or groin area. A safety precaution I always share is be sure to add oils to water or to water in glass or stainless steel, since they do break down most plastics, and you're not going to want to add further chemicals and pollutants into your body, right? So yes. And also another thing to note is some oils have different metabolism in the body. So if you're using lemon essential oil in your water, very easy to drink, very delicious, as with most citrus oils. But an oil like oregano that is very hot, we're going to want to respect that oil. If you're going to use that oil in food, please start with a toothpick amount and work your way up. Like you could literally take a toothpick, dab it on there, and then swirl it into your food as a start, because they are 50 to 70 times more powerful than those herbs, so start slow. And if you do ever get a hot oil like oregano on your skin directly, it is a warm oil, so it's probably going to heat up. You'll definitely notice it, but you'll want to take another oil to place over it or dilute down with a carrier oil, as it is a very powerful oil. So if you're using it, be sure to wash your hands. Now, since it is powerful, it has many, many benefits, but it must be respected. Again, I want to just reiterate that you only need a small amount of essential oils, particularly when infusing your cooking or your beverages. So always just start with 1 drop, or if it's a very strong oil, even less. Now, if you do want to take essential oils in a form that are 1 to 2 drops at a time, or if you don't want to taste that essential oil, the best way to go about internal use is using veggie caps. Now, what these are is they are empty veggie capsules. Let me take one out to show you. So they are just an empty capsule that you can open up and you can add your essential oils in there. You can add 1 to 2 drops at a time of various different oils to avoid the taste and strength directly into your mouth. So if you're sick and wanted to take oregano and melaleuca internally, but you didn't want that taste or that burn, the veggie capsules are a great way to go, and they're incredibly affordable through doTERRA to have on hand. Now, the 2 main oils I love using internally are number 1, lemon, and the second one is digestin. So I'll go ahead and pass these 2 around. Now, digestin is a digestive blend. They tried to make their blend name so it's very easy to figure out what they're for. But both of these essential oils target the gastrointestinal tract. Even if you don't find yourself reaching for ones like these all the time, they're important to have around, especially for those holiday seasons and parties, or if you just find yourself overindulging, which I often do. Now, does anyone have any questions? Awesome. I figured I'd cover it all for you guys, but now it's time to wrap things up. As I mentioned earlier, if you did see anything you'd like to get into your home, I am more than happy to help you get started with that today. There are 2 ways you could purchase with doTERRA, either retail or wholesale, which wholesale is like a Costco membership. The membership is just $35 for the first year, and every year after that, it's $25 on renewal, but each renewal, doTERRA sends you a bottle of peppermint oil, and that's a value of $27. So it's basically a wash in the price. They're saying thank you for continuing your natural lifestyle. So the top benefits of the membership are you save 25%. You can take advantage of the loyalty rewards program, which is similar to a frequent flyer program, and it gives you 10 to 30% back in points for whatever you buy on the program. I mean, not even Target or Amazon do that, you guys. You can qualify. The third reason why I love it is you can qualify for monthly rewards and free product depending on your order size and when you order. Now, you'll also get a personal online ordering system, so you order all yourself. You don't have to track me down. You log in and order, and you can also opt into receiving 100% back in points for your shipping costs. So that's their way of saying we want to cover that for you as a thank you. And finally, for those of you who want to get started with oils, let's find out which oils you might be interested to try and see if they fit into one of our cost-saving kits. Now, if you turn to... it's the next page over from your concerns and goals. You're going to see some of doTERRA's most popular money-saving kits. So all of doTERRA's kits, the great thing about them is they save you money and they automatically waive that membership fee of $35. So you get that completely waived. It's a free account. If you are looking to start where you can easily make over your medicine cabinet and incorporate most of the top oils we talked about today, which is the top 10 kit, they're both listed here on the bottom. They're the essentials kits, and it comes in 2 different sizes. The difference between the Family Essentials Kit and the Home Essentials Kit is that even though they contain those same 10 oils, you get 3 times the amount of the oils in the Home Essentials Kit, plus a free diffuser for not even double the price. So depending on what your budget allows you, we can determine what might work best for you. Now, if you flip over 2 more pages, you're going to find an order form on this page of your handout. So go ahead and fill out those highlighted green sections. If you already know what you want to get started with, you can go ahead and select the box at the top. But once you finish it out, you can bring up the form to me when you're finished so I can get it processed for you and you can carry on with your night. But I'll be coming around to help those of you that need recommendations of the best places to start with what you need for your concerns. Now, I'll be able to answer those questions further on those ailments that we may not have covered. So I just want to say thank you for coming today. And for those of you interested to attend another class, or maybe now you thought of a friend you want to invite, you can set up a time to be the hostess of your own class in person or even online. And I'll be sure to put together a special gift that you can't resist. So thank you again, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and come around and help you all out.